Hi everyone, and welcome to video 21 in the Ableton Tips and Tricks video series. In this video, I'm going to cover input routing to audio tracks. And I actually started doing this as a way to avoid duplication and to also avoid extra strain on my CPU. And you're probably wondering, well, why do I not just duplicate it? Well, the reason I do the input routing to audio method versus duplication is because some of the time I'm working with sample-based instruments like the grand piano equals solo, or I'm working with something that requires an enormous amount of processing power, and instantiating another grand piano solo, for example, that can put a pretty big strain on my CPU. I sometimes get audio dropouts, which is not good. So what I ended up doing was I would end up routing it to an audio track, and I could already play with the texture and sound design I already had, but then process it in a different way without affecting the original signal. And I'm going to show you how to do that today. So let's get started. What I have here is a track that I actually didn't finish, but I have a texture I have created with a stock Ableton instrument, which is the synth polyrhythm pulse, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner. What I'm going to do first is play the sound for you. Let me solo it out. Now what I'm going to do to start is create a new audio track, Command T. I'm going to rename this Bass Pulse Route. Now what I'm going to do, once the I/O window is open, which it is, I'm going to go to the Audio From section. The audio is going to come from Bass Pulse 2. And I'm going to select pre-effects because I want the audio signal before it's been processed at all, because you'll notice on Bass Pulse 2, I have a compressor that's sidechained to a kick drum. So I don't want that effect. I want the pure audio signal. Then what I'm going to do is press Monitor In. And the reason I do this is so that it recognizes receiving audio from Bass Pulse 2. Think of this as selecting Record Arm to record a microphone or recording MIDI into a track. Now what I'm going to do is solo this and play Bass Pulse 2 back. So there is the signal itself. We've got it. So now what I'm going to do is start processing it in various ways. I'm going to start playing the clip, and then I'll be talking my way through it and adding the effects as I go. So first, I'm going to pull the fader down a little bit because I do not want it too loud. Yeah, that seems appropriate. So what I'm going to do first is actually put it in auto pan I constructed a few days ago. I'm going to go to my presets, audio effects, and select side to side and put that on the audio track. So now the audio is probably bouncing around in your headphones, which is what I was going for. And then what I'm going to do, just to cap this off, is I'm going to put in a stock compressor. And then what I'm going to do is, actually, I won't sidechain it. What I'm going to do is slightly compress it just a little bit. I'll select root mean squared. So that seems appropriate. There's a slight amount of gain reduction. I don't want to crush this. I just want a slight amount of gain reduction. And once we have that, I'm going to play the scene back in full. Without. And with. So that is input routing to audio. And you'll also notice if you rewind the video, I just realized this, you can take a look at my CPU meter in the top right-hand corner, and you'll probably know that it goes up by no more than, I'd say 2% tops. But if you are duplicating it, I would actually say it would go probably from 2 all the way upwards to 30%, depending if you duplicate the track and also whatever third-party plugin you're using. Very rarely do Ableton's effects ever make the CPU spike the way third-party plugins do. So that is input routing to audio. I hope this helps you to create new textures without putting any strain on your CPU or affecting any of the sounds you already like. Take care, and thanks for watching.